Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dmoneybags, on the check-in, in the building.
I could do this shit with no effort. Nigga, shoes took a house, I took your bitch.
Yo, what's going on, YouTube? You are now tuned in to your boy, Dmoneybags, on the check-in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'm back with another one for y'all. And no, I was not sleeping under a rock. I'm back, baby. Shout out to the whole New York City, all the 5 boroughs, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Staten, Strong Island, the whole New York, all the 50 states, the whole world, worldwide. Shout out, salute. Well, I'm back, and today's topic is gonna be about the one and only me, and about my life, where I was born, how I came up until this point, at the age of near 35 years old, right? So with that being said, I got a lot for y'all coming up. I'm gonna get to know where I was born, where I'm from, the neighborhoods I lived in New York, and all of that. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Kick back, relax, and just take it easy and listen up. Alright? I got y'all. New York City, the home of Dmoneybags. So yeah. So just to summarize about myself, where I was born. I was born in New York City, 1986, the crack era. My parents were immigrants. They're citizens now. They come from South America, a country called Guyana. Neighboring countries, Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, Suriname. The Caribbean is right above Guyana, off the coast of Guyana. They came here in the early 80s, and they had me, right? I was born in Bellevue Hospital, brought home to Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, Nostrand Avenue, actually Putnam, between Nostrand and Marcy. I remember the exact number of the building too, 315 Putnam Avenue. We lived there for a little while, from my mom and my dad telling me there was a lot of drugs going on, a lot of drug sales, crack, heroin, everything going on. The neighborhood was very, very bad. For people that know about that area, that's where Biggie is from, Jay-Z, ODB, a lot of different rappers, and so forth. My dad even told me that he's seen Biggie before. He said, yeah, I know that kid. I bumped into him a few times. He used to be on the corner on Fulton Avenue, because Fulton is not that far away from my house. Fulton and stuff like that. So he used to be out there with the crew, and you know, it's not hard to not recognize Biggie. I think everybody knows that, right? So moving right along, from that point on, we moved to Flatbush, right? We lived in I think it's Rogers and Snyder. That's where we used to live, right by the precinct, right across the street from that precinct, by Rogers and Snyder. That's Flatbush, right? So we bounced around. Long story short, let me get into it a little bit. We also lived at 1600 Caton Avenue, 1710 Caton Avenue. I first learned how to ride a bike at 4 years old from my big brother, Mark. Shout out, salute, Mark, my big brother. Much older than me, 12 years as a matter of fact. So he's like a father figure to me. I love that guy with all my heart. Peace to you, my brother. One love. Anyway, moving right along. He taught me how to ride a bike in that park, in Caton Park. I was 4 years old. You know how he taught me? I had training wheels, right, on my bike. And he took them off, said, look, you're going to learn how to ride a bike. I said, okay. He took me, he would hold me and say, just keep going, just keep pedaling. You're not going to fall, you're not going to fall. I was so afraid of falling that I would put my foot down. You know, it's a little bike. I'm a little kid. I could easily just put my foot down and stop, and I won't keep going. So my brother's like, why you keep putting your foot down? I told him, yeah, I'm scared I might fall. He's like, all right. So he came up with a bright idea. He's a smart guy. But this is what a real big brother would do for you. Later on in life, I did this for my little sister. So my brother said, all right, he's scared. There was some bushes along the side of my building on 1600 Caton. If anybody knows back then, 1600 Caton. I think they're still there right now. They might be chopped up. But anyway, he said, all right, Daryl, come, let's go again. He brought me, come on, D, let's go. He brought me, he said, go ahead, pedal, pedal, pedal. He pedal with me, he was holding me. You know what he did? He threw me right into those bushes. So I fell down, I got scraped up, dust myself off, got up, and I realized, like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Got back on the bike, started pedaling like it was nothing, pedaling all around Caton Park. He brought me back. Now he brought me into the park and started pedaling, and I was all over with the little kids excited. Shout out to my brother Mark once again. Thank you for that, man. All right. So we lived there. I was at the age around 4 or 5 over there. Then we moved back. I think we moved back to Bed-Stuy. We lived in that same area on Nostrand Avenue. I also lived at 387 Nostrand. That's right around the corner from when I was a baby. I went to PS3. That was the first school I went to, PS3. I think it's on Jefferson. It's on Jefferson or something, like a couple blocks from there. Right? All right, long story short, we ended up moving again. We bounced around a lot. I went to a lot of different public schools and stuff. You know, we bounced around a lot. We moved from there. We moved to East Flatbush, Winthrop and Rutland, East 46th Street. There's a big-ass park over there. Wingate High School is not too far from there. The 50s and the 90s, East Flatbush, everybody knows about that. Bobby Schmurder's from there and this and that, right? This is the early 90s. So we lived there. I grew up there. That's where I learned how to play basketball. I was very, very good at basketball. I'm still good. But those days are quite done for me. It's quite done, right? So anyway, moving right along. I started playing basketball around the age of 6 years old. And people started to notice that I was really good. I was really good at dribbling, handle and dribble. I was real good. By the time I was about 7, I was nasty, right? And on that block. And as little kids back then in the 90s growing up, we didn't live like kids today. We used to play tag, play manhunt. We would be outside at all hours of the night. You know, our parents know about us, but we would be, I had older friends. I always had older friends. So we'd go up the block, we'd be up the block, and we'd be out till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Your parents used to let you roam around like that back then. Because we wouldn't be in the house like today with all these electronics and stuck in the house all day, not really interacting with kids outside. Even the neighbors were more interacting with each other. The whole block knew each other. Everybody knew each other's mom and dad, just like when you went to school. But anyway, long story short, so I was really good in basketball. So I lived there for about 5 years. I had real good friends from that block. So that's my early part of my life that I just told you guys about. So those are the neighborhoods I grew up in from the age of a baby to 10 years old. Now, I'm going to get into where I really grew up at. That was my early stages, right? So now I moved. 10 years old, I was in the 5th grade. 1996, that right after Tupac was murdered and gunned down in Las Vegas. Moving right along. We moved from that neighborhood, right, to Ozone Park, Queens. Also, East New York, Brooklyn, otherwise known as City Line. This is where I'm from. This is my home. I love this place. Shout out to everybody. Love you guys, man. Yeah, so we moved from that neighborhood, East Flatbush, right? we moved now to the borderline of Brooklyn and Queens, the East New York section and the Ozone Park section. Now, for people that don't know, this is very close to JFK. And so I lived on Pitkin and 79th Street. 4 blocks away is East New York, Brooklyn, right? I went to PS 214. Ozone Park is Queens. A lot of mafia activity went on there. The Gambino crime family. People know this is already known. This is a known fact, right? So the neighborhood is called City Line, and that's where I'm from. This is where I really grew up at, from the age of 10 up until damn near now, because I still live close by that area. I live in Queens now, you know what I'm saying? But it's very close. I live very close by to Ozone Park, right around JFK, right? So anyway, with that being said, City Line is a very, very diverse area. The Brooklyn side, of course, is the rough side, the East New York side. Cypress Hills is not too far away, but us from the neighborhood, we still call Cypress Hills East New York. You know, maybe certain real, official Cypress Hills people, no disrespect, they probably take pride and be like, nah, this is Cypress Hills. But we call that, we call that by Highland Park and all that, we call that East New York. You know what I'm saying? No ifs, ands, or buts. But it's Cypress Hills. All right. So anyway, I'm from City Line, Brooklyn. If anybody doesn't know, the infamous projects that are not too far from there are the Pink Houses, Cypress Projects, Linden Plaza. Those spots back in the days were really bad, and they still are today, but not as bad as back in the days. But anyway, I lived on the more, the more decent side, but I was not far away from danger. And Ozone Park wasn't so nice either. But it was much better than East New York. But I used to linger in both areas, So, but I'm a little confused. I'm like a what you call it? A biracial. You know what I'm saying? Biracial person. So anyway, with that being said, it's a very diverse area. It's a lot of different races. Italians, Hispanics, blacks, Irish, different kinds of Caucasians, different kinds of Hispanics, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Colombians, stuff like that. More so Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, right? So I went to PS 214 in the 5th grade, right? I graduated from there, and they moved me to another. I didn't know about Queens. Remember, I'm a Brooklyn kid, so I didn't know about Queens. In Queens, 6th grade, I always thought you going straight to junior high school. But in Queens, 6th grade was the last grade for public school. So all my friends was going to junior high school in Brooklyn and going to 302 and 218 and this and that. That's junior high schools in Brooklyn and East New York. And I was zoned to Queens because I lived actually in Queens, 79th Street and Pitkin Avenue, right? So they put me in another public school, PS 63. I went there. This is where I met all my Italian friends and a lot of good people. We all like family now. Even the kids out of 214, a lot of them I still know till today. Shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to everybody from PS 63. So I went to PS 63, met a hell of great people. Girls, guys that are lifelong friends till today. They're all on my Facebook, all over my social media platforms and stuff like that. Right? So I love you guys. Shout out to all of y'all. Subscribe to my channel, guys. Come on. Help a brother out, man. Alright, help a brother out. So with that being said, alright, long story short, I went from PS 63 to junior high school, 202 junior high school. It's right off the Conduit, right? A lot of kids from like Southside Jamaica, Queens. I don't know why, but they came all the way from Southside to come to 202. Kids from far deep in Queens, on Rockaway Boulevard by the Van Wyck. Kids from the back streets over there, all of that. South Ozone, South Jamaica. Kids all the way by Baisley Projects came all the way to the junior high school. They used to have their own buses and all of that. right? Shout out to all of y'all from junior high school that I met. All them kids from Queens, you know. Cool people, man. I'm glad I met all of you people. You know, everything happens for a reason. God bless all of you. I hope all of y'all is safe, your family and everything during this pandemic, if you're watching. Anyway, I was really good in basketball, like I was saying before. So all this time, you know, playing ball in the parks. Shout out to everybody from Tudor Park. Everybody knows Tudor Park. Shout out to everybody in Tudor Park. You know, all my peoples. They basically told me I was a Tudor Park legend. I was a little kid, you know, but I was really good in playing ball. I ended up joining CYO League, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Shout out to Nativity. And shout out to OLPH and everybody that participated, all the coaches, everybody, all the players. Shout out to all of y'all. All the real ballers out there, you heard? Shout out to the New York Knicks, too. I'm a big Knicks fan. I forgot to mention that. Die Hard, 1994. I was crying when they lost to the Rockets. Anyway, let me not get off topic. I should have mentioned that before. But, anyway, so junior high school, I was real nasty in ball. They had a kid that used to play with us, and he used to play in the Rucker Parks. He was nasty. This kid handle was crazy. And I remember when I used to play defense on him. I used to be kind of shook and nervous, like, yo, I don't want this dude to scrape me, because it was like you could play your best defense on this kid and he would still scrape you. So he played for the Harlem Globetrotters, like he was a little, you know, the youngsters. He used to play with them and do all kind of tricks and all this crazy shit. He from Baisley Project. Shout out to him. I don't want to say his name or whatever, but shout out to him. Right? So anyway, after that, after 202, that was the junior high school I went to. Now, I'm going into high school. Oh, let me mention, in junior high school is when I joined the gang. You know, I'm going to get into that. I joined the gang in junior high school. In the 8th grade, I was 13. The end of the 8th grade, or matter of fact, no, the beginning of the 8th grade. I joined it, 1999. Right? Was that 99? Yeah, that was 1999. The end of 99 is when I joined. Right? I'm gonna get into that later. Don't worry, I gotta gather all of that for y'all, like I said before. So I'm gonna give y'all a good one on that story. I wasn't no super gangster. I'm not gonna be like some of these guys and lie and say I was this and that, but I've seen a lot of stuff, you know, which I won't really get into crazy, but I'll mention certain things and I won't say no names or nothing. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't want any problems. But nothing too crazy like that. But I've done certain things and I've seen certain things, and but nothing crazy to really incriminate me like that. You know, it's just regular street shit that a lot of people, regular kids growing up did. But the only thing, I was in a gang, and I was misled. I was very young and I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But I learned the hard way. I'll tell you that. And this is just to set an example, like I said, for the youths out there. You know, I don't want to lead you guys down the wrong path. That's why I'm talking about my life and how I'm growing up, because I'm trying to set an example and show you that you could do better than me, and you know what I'm saying? You can be a good person. You know, I just want to set an example. But anyway, so now we're gonna get into when I joined the gang, and now I'm leaving junior high school. And where I'm going? High school. Franklin K. Lane is where I first started going to high school. Very, very bad school. And this is around the time the Bloods and the Latin Kings was still going at it. They were still kind of going at it. This was year 2000. Franklin K. Lane. This is my first high school. John Adams. This is where I went the majority of the time and graduated from. Yeah, my peoples. So I'm leaving junior high school, right? Year 2000, I started high school. Franklin K. Lane on Jamaica Avenue in East New York, Brooklyn. Like I said again, right on the borderline. Queens was right there. Woodhaven would be right there. It's a lot of neighboring neighborhoods, like, you know, neighboring, close by neighborhoods. A lot of different neighborhoods on one. It's like the borderline of different neighborhoods. Woodhaven, Ozone Park, Cypress Hills, and East New York. I just want to be, correct on this one right here, right? But Franklin K. Lane, my high school, this is the first high school. I went to 2 high schools, but this is where I started out at. Franklin K. Lane on Jamaica Avenue. A lot of different people went here. I believe John Gotti went to Franklin K. Lane. A lot of different people. I should have did my homework on this and put them on here, but anyway. It was a very bad school, man. I remember when the first day I went and I heard about it, and remember the freshman Friday thing. This school was like one of the worst schools in Brooklyn. Everybody knows that. You know, you had kids coming there from Brownsville, from East New York, from all over. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of bloods. There's a lot of gang activity going on in Franklin K. Lane, right? A few years before I went, it was a war between the Bloods and the Latin Kings. It was still going on even when I was going. You know what I'm saying? So when I went, I was kind of shook, like, oh shit, freshman Friday. I was a little scared about that. You know, I'm being honest. You know, some of these guys want to act super tough, act like they was never scared or they never took no L's or none of that. I took L's, I had wins, I had losses, I had dubs. You know, that's how the game goes. You like somebody said this, you ain't Superman. I think my boy Warpath. Shout out to Warpath. Shout out to Warpath. Go subscribe to my boy Warpath on the Lockout Gang, man. Go subscribe to my boy Warpath. Cool ass dude. On the Lockout, his IG and his what you call it, his YouTube. On the Lockout Gang. Facts. Anyway, so freshman Friday, nothing happened, but you know, there's a lot of gang activity. That school is like a prison, man. It's like a square. It's like a square. The hallways is a square. You see him dudes flagging, Latin Kings, Nietas, Bloods, all kind of gangs, some Crips and stuff like that. It was a very rough school. A lot of rough kids going there, man, from the projects and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And so I went there for about I think about 2 months, 2.5 months. And I told my mom, like, look, mom, and a lot of my friends is not even going here. I was zoned there. I wanted to go to John Adams. I eventually went to John Adams. I told my mom, like, yo, mom, I don't really want to go to this school no more. I really don't like it, man. A lot of my friends, all of my friends that I went to junior high school and elementary with, they all in John Adams. I got like about 5 friends here. You know what I'm saying? This school is like, I don't feel comfortable here. I just didn't feel the vibes. You know what I'm saying? You know how you feel that way? And I didn't feel the vibes. I just didn't. It just felt like a fucking prison. This school, and you know, John Adams was another very bad school too. Very heavily gang, heavy gang activity was in John Adams as well. So after the 2.5 months, my mom was speaking to the principal and like, you know, everybody to try to get me out of there. They said the only way to get your son out of here is if we write up a safety transfer, right? So nothing happened to me or nothing like that, but they had to sum up a safety transfer to get me out of Franklin K. Lane and put me into John Adams. So that's what they did. They did the paperwork and blah, 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 blah. They summed together a safety transfer or whatever. They probably lied and said someday somebody tried to jump me. I don't know what they did. But nothing happened to me. And I made my way back. I made my way to John Adams. Here I come to John Adams, you know, and I was so happy. I started seeing all my friends, high five here and there, everywhere I walk, high five and this and that, you know. But John Adams was high, very high in gang activity, you know. We had the LB fam, we had the Crips, a little bit of Bloods was in that school, not a lot of Bloods. You had Latin Kings, you had Nietas, and certain things like that. Certain Zulus. There's a few Zulus around and stuff like that. Certain, you know, different little cliques. LF, Lost Foundation, I think was one of them. it was a lot of different cliques out there, man. It's just I'm laughing because I'm just remembering all this stuff. But anyway, I went to John Adams and I met all my friends. I was so happy, and you know, at that point I was working in the flea market. I used to work in the flea market. That's the first job I had. I started working there when I was 12 years old, man. 12 in junior high school. I forgot to mention that too. Shout out to everybody that ever worked in the flea market. That's where the casino is at now. You see where the World Resorts World Casino is? That's where the flea market used to be. And that's where I used to work from 12 years old up until about 17, 16, 17. I was working there making my money, buying my clothes for high school. I used to sell a little bit of weed and, dabble with a little weed and stuff. I sold a little bit of drugs, weed and certain other drugs. I'll get into that when I talk about the gang stuff. But I wasn't a big drug dealer. It was nothing like that. A little bit here, something that, nothing crazy. All right. But yeah. So I used to work in the flea market. And shout out to all my teachers and John Adams that's seeing this. If y'all watch me, you recognize me. Shout out to you guys. Love you guys. All the best. Blessings to you and your family and everybody. Right? John Adams was a very good school besides the gang activity and everything. I used to dress fly. My first freshman year, and so I wasn't crazy fly like that, but I think when I hit around the end of sophomore year, I started getting fly. I was buying a lot of stuff, sneakers and this and that. I was a very independent kid. I didn't really rely and depend on my parents to buy me stuff. I used to get my own stuff, but not saying my parents didn't get me stuff. They used to buy me stuff on, Christmas and certain times when they knew when school was starting, my birthday, so on and so forth. But I wouldn't ask my parents to go out of my way. Hey, mom, hey, dad, can you buy me some Jordans? Can you buy me this jacket, this North Face book bag, whatever? But anyway, I was very independent since I was a kid. I forgot to mention. I should have mentioned this. And I'm gonna make a whole video about this topic. From the age of 4 years old until 13, I was a model and an actor. Okay, from 1990 to 1999, I'm in magazines. I was in about 5 or 6 commercials. I'm in Ebony magazine. I'm on the cover of a book. I'll get into that later. I'm on the cover of a book. It's a fairly popular book, read by like junior high school kids, stuff like that. If you go on my IG, you'll see it. My IG is The Reality at DAREALITY. The Reality, straight like that. You'll see the book. It's in there. I don't have a lot of pictures on there. You'll see the book. That's me on the cover of the book. I was 13 years old, and I'll have a video about that topic, and I'll get into that, and I'll show you guys certain things that nobody else has that I have, so it's me. You know what I mean? Pictures and certain things like that. So anyway, moving right along. I was fly in high school, and one of the best dressers. Shout out to everybody that was fly in high school, man. You know what I mean? That was the days of the jerseys, the official jerseys, the long shits. We used to wear 3XTs, big ass balloon baggy jeans, and I had all Jordans and all Nikes, Air Max, this, that, what you name it. Uptowns, I had it. You know what I mean? A little bit of jewelry, little chain, you know what I mean? A little bit of bling bling. Nothing crazy. I wasn't blinging crazy like that. Some dudes was. But I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Right? So shout out to everybody from John Adams. I just want to send my love and peace and blessings to y'all. Hope all of y'all are safe as well, your whole family and everybody, right? So then, long story short, moving right along, I graduated from high school in 2004, and I went to college, right? I went to Nyack College. This is a Christian college. I'm Catholic. Same thing to me, but I'm Catholic. I was baptized as a Catholic. I went to college, and during this time in college, it was a Catholic college and everything too. I can't front. I was doing really well, but I was still, in the street smoking weed and, drinking and certain things. I used to drink a lot when I was a teenager in early 20s, in the street, drinking, I like everybody. And when I was in college, though, too, I was doing very good in college, really good. And at the same time, I was selling a little bit of drugs, that white. I was selling a little bit of that. But I can't believe I was doing all that shit. I was misled and I was making mistakes. And, for you kids out there, don't sell drugs. Don't get involved in that. It's not good. I almost got caught, but I wasn't even selling crazy like that. But I almost got caught one day, and by the grace of God, I didn't get caught. I had it on me. They were searching me and this and that, and I did not get caught, and I got away with that one. I could have probably did a couple years on Rikers Island for the amount of grams that I had on me. It wasn't a lot of grams, but that amount would have did at least a year or something, right? And also, I think I had weed on me and everything. My license was suspended, all kind of stuff. I'll get into that later. In another topic. But I got away with that one. I would have definitely did a little bit of time for that. So anyway, I went to college for 2 years, and I left college. Right? I didn't finish. I went for 2 years. I think I got like 30-something credits or something like that, right? I was going full-time, then I went part-time, then I gradually was like, I drifted away. So kids stay in school, stay in school. Because after that point, I started dibbling and dabbling at a whole bunch of different jobs, from construction. I bought my first car. Well, I forgot to mention this. I bought my first car at, when I was 17, going on 18. No, I had the money for my first car at 17 when I was graduating from high school. Right? I had the money. So I used to do construction with my big brother. He had his business going, and I was working with him under his wing. Shout out to Mark again. And so I was saving my money. I'm a miser, I like to say. So that was then. Now it's hard. I got bills. I'm an adult now. A whole set of motherfucking bills, man. But anyway, so I bought my first car when I was 18. I had the money already. And a little bit after my 18th birthday, I bought my first car. I bought it from my big brother, Mark. A 1992 Acura Legend 4-door sedan. Fully loaded, leather seats, all of that. Luxury, nice. But for being 18, it's a 12-year-old car in 2004. It wasn't that bad. I'm not going to sit here and say I was driving a Benz, a 2000 Benz, 2002 Benz. No. I bought this car cash. I owned it. And I had to put it under somebody else's name. I think I put it under my brother's name, and then eventually under my mother's name. Insurance, registration, all that. I was too young to get it. They would have charged me like $2,000 for insurance. You know what I'm saying? Just got my license at 18, all of that, everything. So I had my first car, and that whole time in college. Let's get back to the college point. I got out of college. I had my car and all of that, and I did a lot of I know I'm bouncing all over the place. Sorry to get you guys off track, because it's just so much. I'm trying to catch certain things that I'm missing here, right? But anyway, so I had a car from 8. That car, the Acura Legend, I had that from 18 to 21, right? I got out of college around 21, and I started working and everything like that. I think I was working in college too before. Working at Bed Bath & Beyond. Shout out to all my people at BBB, Bed Bath & Beyond. I met a lot of good people there at BBB. So after BBB and all of that, I started doing construction. I started getting into security work. I was doing security, fire safety director. I got into courier service. I used to drive all over the 5 boroughs. I got a minivan after the Acura Legend, right? A Honda Odyssey, a 2002 Honda Odyssey. I got that. And I started doing courier service all over the 5 boroughs for a company called Select Express. I used to deliver Town Total Health to all the projects all over the 5 boroughs. All the projects. When I say the worst projects, the worst, all the worst, you name it. In the 5 boroughs, all of them in the Bronx. All them projects in the Bronx. Bronx River, Soundview, Patterson projects, Forest projects, all them projects. Eden Wall, all of that. You name it, I've been there. Every project. Brownsville houses, Marcy, Van Dyke, Ceflo, Pink houses, Cypress, all of them. Polo Grounds in Harlem, all of them buildings. Wagner, you name it, man, I've been there. All the projects in Lower East Side, all of them. Not trying to glorify saying, but I just like the history of New York, and I feel like I'm a part of something that I did that from doing those deliveries all over. I used to deliver medicine for people with diabetes, with HIV, with cancer, all kind of elephantitis, all kind of diseases. I seen a lot of deformed people, you know. So that was the courier service I used to do with my minivan. I did that for 7 years, on and off here and there, blah, blah, blah. I was an Uber driver for 3 years. Uber and Lyft. When Uber first started, like a year after they first started, I started working for Uber. A year and a half, something like that. I did that for 3 years, right? So we're getting closer to the point I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So that's the point where I'm at now. So I used to rap. I'm really good at rap. I'm going to hit y'all with some bars soon. Not right now. Soon. I hit y'all with some bars, man. You know, y'all got to hear some bars from me. D-Money. Oh, where did I get the name D-Money? D-Money. At first, my name was just straight D-Money. Then I changed it to Dmoneybags. This was not too far. Because I always thought of E-Moneybags, right? Well, I got my name from E-Moneybags. But first, before I got it from E-Moneybags, I got it from the movie New Jack City, right? I got it from this movie New Jack City. You know, the character G Money, right? I got it from there. And I started rapping at 16 years old in 2002. And I said, I got to come up with a name. And I was like, you know, I like money. And I said, all right, fuck it. D-Money. I'm going to just go with that. I thought of New Jack City G Money. I was like, all right.
Hustler, word, I pull the trigger long, grit my teeth, spray to every nigga's gone. Got my block sewn on my dope spots. Last thing I sweat, so suck a punk cop. Move like a king when I roll hops. You try to flex, bang, another nigga drops. You gotta deal with this, cause in the way out. Why? Cash money ain't never gonna play out. I got nothing to lose, much to gain. In my brain, I got a capitalist migraine.
Yeah. So, you know, I thought of New Jack City with G Money. And I was like, yo, I'm going to just name myself D-Money, man. You know, I just ran with that one because I like money. And I was like, you know, my name starts with a D. So I'm like, yo, you know, money. D-Money. Then it also means drug money, but I'm not a drug dealer. And, you know, anyway. So with that being said, that's where I got my name from the movie New Jack City. Then I found out that E-Moneybags had died a year before I took that name. Yeah, man. Rest in peace to E-Moneybags, a New York street legend, Young Guns. That's where I got my name from. Knew about E-Moneybags, right? I knew about E-Moneybags and everything. But, however, I wasn't, you know, too crazy fond of him. I knew his name, but I didn't know too much about him. Eventually, I ran into this, me and my friend, we were a group. So we ran into, you know, we used to tell people, yo, I rap, used to spit for people, and we met a lot of different people. And we met some guy, he was like a producer or something like that. And he was like, yo, what's your rap name? And my boy told him, and then he's like, what's your rap name? I was like, D-Money. He's like, oh, D-Money, huh? He's like, you heard of E-Money? I was like, who? He's like, E-Money. I said, yeah, that's familiar. I heard of that. He's like, yeah, E-Moneybags. I was like, yeah, I heard of him, yeah, from Queens and stuff like that, right? Left Rack. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, you know, he died, right? I was like, for real? I was like, that's crazy. That's sad, man. He's telling me, like, yeah, man, he's a good dude. He's a rapper. You know, he was in the streets heavy. He was my friend, man. He was my friend. He was like, yo, you know, it was a guy from around in our neighborhood by City Line. He knew E-Moneybags personally. He's like, yo, he was a good dude, man. It's just sad what happened to him and this and that and all of that stuff. And I'm like, wow. So that's kind of stuck with me. And I was like, yo, you know, I thought about that name, but I stuck with D-Money for a long time. And I just recently just was like, yo, D-Moneybags. Like within the last year or two, I call myself, probably like 2 years now, call myself D-Moneybags, you know what I mean? But D-Money is my official. I got a lot of aliases, man. A lot of different aliases. My main nickname is D. So if you comfortable with that, you know, everybody calls me D. That's my main nickname. You know, I got D. I got D-Money. I got De Plata. I got, what you call it? Black bag. Because they used to always say I walk with a black bag with bear in it or something. What else people call me? Oh, Poquitito. Poquitito. I gave myself that name. It means little by little. That's it's a Hispanic term. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of different aliases, man. But anyway, so that's basically kind of sums up me. I hope you guys like this video. You know, like I said, like it. Subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel, Dmoneybags on the check-in. Subscribe to my channel. Share this video if you can for me, please. Like it, subscribe, do all that good stuff for me, man. Comment if you like. You know, I hope this helps someone. I hope you got a message out of this. I hope you got to know me a little bit more and got a little bit comfortable with me. I broke the ice. I showed a little bit more humor in this video. You see me smiling a little bit more. I showed you a little bit more on my soft side, right? So I just wanted to do this for my fans and for people just to get to know me a little bit before I start to get into my next videos and start talking about different topics, because I got a whole lot of stuff coming up. And I just wanted to hurry up and get this video out there because you guys thought I was sleeping under a rock, huh? So anybody that's out there that wants to do YouTube, man, you got it. It's not easy. You got to put in the work. You got to edit if you like. I like editing. It's not easy. It's hard work. You know, anybody out there that just wants to become a YouTuber, you have to post. You know, my boy Warpath from On the Lockout, go subscribe to him. On the Lockout, Warpath, On the Lockout. Just check that out. He always says this: post, post, post. All right, just post. But I mean, you know, you gotta, look presentable. Like, I took a shower before this. Like, I try to set up my little background. I'm gonna get more things soon, more equipment. Better lighting and stuff like this. I'm using the outside lighting right now and the light from in my room. But you got to take this seriously if you want to do well, and you got to be professional, and be creative. Get into your realm, and don't be shy. I don't got a haircut right now. I did a little shape up, yesterday. I'm gonna get a haircut in a few days. I got more videos coming for y'all. But you gotta look presentable, look good, look clean. And, have your background set up nice. And post, all right? So to conclude this, thanks for everybody watching. Subscribe again, like I said. Like, share, do all that good stuff. I love everybody. I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a good one. Happy New Year, as a matter of fact. Happy New Year, man. I forgot to say that in the beginning. But Happy New Year, guys, and take care. And I got a whole lot coming for y'all. You heard? It's Dmoneybags on the check-in.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Black, it's time. Word, it's timing. It's time, man. Alright, begin. Yeah, straight out the fucking dungeons of rap, where fake niggas don't make it back. I don't know how to start this shit. Yo. Rappers are monkey flipping with the funky rhythm I be kicking. Musician, inflicting composition of pain. I'm like Scarface, sniffing cocaine, holding an M16. See, with the pen I'm extreme. Now, bullet holes left in my peak holes. I'm suited